Welcome to the National Drug Screening Video Blog Series. We have an exciting topic today. We're going to talk about folks that are selling drug testing that need lab accounts. Hi, I'm Joe Reilly, President of National Drug Screening. I have my guest, Tom Fulmer. How are you doing, Tom?
I'm doing great, Joe.
Tom's the Vice President of Business Development here at National Drug Screening. We're going to talk about helping folks that are getting into the drug testing business, helping them to get their lab accounts set up. And they also need a medical review officer.
They do.
And we're going to talk about, I'm going to ask Tom some questions. We have a program to help folks get their lab accounts set up. We call it a clinic mobile reseller program. A lot of folks may not know what that means, but we'll kind of explain what that means. But it's basically a way that somebody getting into the business of drug testing, or someone that's already in the business of drug testing and is kind of floundering and not having really good success in getting their laboratory accounts set up to do the drug testing, getting the supplies to do the drug testing, the custody control forms, the specimen collection cups. And so we call that the Clinic Mobile Reseller Program. Tom, first question for you. What do we mean by Clinic Mobile Reseller Program?
Yeah, that's actually a term for people who are collectors primarily. The main thing they're doing is drug test collections. And they might be doing the mobile part of that would be mobile collections. So they get qualified as a collector, they get collector training, they've gone through a program, they decide they want to get into the drug testing business. Maybe they worked for someone else and decide they want to go out on their own. And then they're doing collections mobily. They don't have a physical location, there's no collection site facility, but they get called out by employers, or they go to people's homes, or they go to people's businesses, or hiring events to be able to do those collections. So that would be the mobile side of that. Then you also have some that are clinic resellers. They may also do mobile collections, but they do have a clinic location. And that might be a chiropractor. It might be some type of doctor. It might be somebody who decided to be a collector and decided, hey, I want to go rent a space and do all kinds of collections. They may already be doing other services like notary services or physicals or things along those lines, and have a location and said, hey, I've got people asking for these additional services like drug testing. And so that's really the ones that fit into that. They're not managing the programs. They're not doing all of the other stuff associated with it. They're just doing the collections for drug and or alcohol testing.
Very interesting. So helping folks getting in the drug testing business, helping folks that may already be in the business, or helping folks that may have another business, they want to add drug testing. So I know sometimes there's a little bit of difficulty for these folks to get the laboratory accounts.
Yes.
We can help them with it very swiftly and get it all done for them. What are the benefits of one of these folks getting their lab accounts set up through National Drug Screening?
Well, the main benefit is they can actually make it happen.
Right.
A lot of these people that are getting into business, whether they're collectors or just starting in drug testing, they don't have a credit rating. They don't have a business that's been in business for a long time typically. And the laboratories are not really willing to take a risk on that because there's no credit history. There's no experience. They don't know if there's going to be any testing done, things along those lines. So we've set up a program to help them get started in the business. Not only can we provide some other consulting services and things along those lines, but we can actually help them get that lab account set up because of our agreements with the laboratories that allow us to do that, because we're providing that intermediate service. We're the ones providing the customer support for them. We're the ones helping them get the supplies and all of that. It takes that burden off the laboratories, so they're willing to work with us in that regard. So the biggest benefit is they can actually get the lab account set up. Secondary benefit, they actually get people to return their phone call. I'm amazed every time I return somebody's phone call and they're like, I can't believe you called me back right away. I've been trying to get in touch with a laboratory for the last 3 weeks, and I just got a response today, those kind of things. And no diss to the laboratories. They're busy. They've got a lot of other stuff going on. And this is somebody who may or may not ever even do a drug test. So the ability to come to us and have somebody believe in them, help them get started, I think is a really critical aspect of that.
So I think number one, they can get the job done. They can get the lab account set up. We can get them the supplies, and we can typically get all that done in 5 to 7 days.
Right.
Number two, I'm hearing that they're going to get great customer support. And we have a great customer support team that helps them day in and day out. And as you mentioned, we answer the phone. So what do they get with a lab account? Because you need more. You need more than just a lab account. What do they get?
So not only do they get the actual account itself, but they get the custody and control forms. They get the split specimen cups or single specimen cups or hair kits or whatever it is that we're setting up for them, so that they can actually do the collection. And then they get the shipping supplies to be able to ship that specimen to the laboratory for testing. So those are the key elements to actually start doing drug testing. Sometimes these collectors have been doing collections for other people and on the other accounts, but if somebody comes in without an account, they don't have any way to help them. And so this gets them all the components they need to be able to conduct those tests and then actually start growing their business.
Yeah, a lot of these folks, they're mobile collectors or they're clinics that take collections in. Some of their customers may have their own lab accounts, as you mentioned, and they have their own forms, and they have their own medical review officer. So you're just doing the collection. I call that specimen collection only, SCO. I think I coined that term. So in that case, you're just billing somebody just to do the collection. But as Tom mentioned, somebody walks and says, I need a drug test. They don't have a lab account. Well, if you've got one, you can do the drug test, you can make money. Now you're billing them for the collection, the lab work, the MRO, okay?
Right.
So with our lab accounts, I mentioned MRO a couple of times. How do they find an MRO?
The MRO comes with it. That's an all-in-one solution. It makes it much easier. Instead of having to go to multiple vendors to be able to get things, having multiple bills, they've got it all in one place. So it's all handled for them. And that also allows our customer support team to support them not only with the laboratory, but with the MRO. So now, instead of having to have multiple vendors, they've got one person to go to get everything done and all in one place. Makes it simple, easy to manage, easy to get that part of the business started.
So with this clinic mobile reseller program, someone gets their lab account set up, and then we also bring in the medical review officer to review the results. Now, the lab and the MRO can't be connected, but we're connecting those two parts and then reporting final verified MRO results back to that clinic reseller, and then they could forward on that result to whoever their customer is.
Absolutely. The laboratories, because of conflict of interest, they can't have the influence over the MRO. So if they weren't going through us, they would have to try to convince the laboratory to work with them. If they could do that, then they would have to find an MRO who would be willing to work with them and then try to connect those two together. And quite often, those things aren't necessarily aligned. Where within our system, everybody's working kind of within our same system, which makes it nice. It also streamlines the process to get the results back to the person. So the laboratory digitally delivers the information to the MRO, who then also works in our system to get that result out. So it reduces the turnaround time that it would normally take.
So it gets them fast turnaround time.
Fast turnaround time, faster results, which everybody wants.
Which is what their client wants. They want that fast turnaround time.
Exactly.
And we can give them. I know there's some other benefits for those folks that come on board as clinic mobile resellers in our system. We have a great website with lots of resources. We also have a business support portal. Can you talk a little bit about those things, Tom?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a business support portal, ndsadmin.com. And that provides them with tools, resources, forms, templates, things that they can go in and use. And a lot of times if they're just getting started or they've been in business for a little while, obviously they haven't been in business for that long because they don't have accounts. But it helps them, give them some tools to get started so they don't have to create everything on their own. And that's a big part of it. They can go there, they can get some training, they can get access to tools, resources, forms, those kind of things that really make it easy for them to know what to do moving forward. So that's a big aspect of that, is to having that additional help, because a lot of times it's just a 1 or 2 person shop for they're looking for lab accounts for our clinic mobile resellers, or only 1 or 2 people at the clinic that are even doing this. And sometimes you don't know more than you know, and this portal helps them to actually know those things. It helps them to figure out what they need to do next, what they need to do in different circumstances. And it's a benefit to them for that.
So there's a lot of great advantages to doing business with National Drug Screening. And there's ways that our clients, these reseller clients, there's ways that they can make more money.
Right.
Can you talk to some of those, Tom?
Absolutely. So we have something called our white label programs. a lot of providers out there don't necessarily have the expertise to write drug-free workplace policies, especially not in maybe more than one state or for more than one regulatory mode. They don't know some of the special programs that are out there. So one of those programs is called our white label policies that lets resellers be able to sell that to their customer, complete a questionnaire with a customer, and then on the back end, we can provide those policies through that reseller to that customer. It's a great profit center for them. It's a win for the customer. They don't have to turn the customer away and say, hey, we don't do that, which nobody wants to do that in business. And they can have something that they have confidence in, that the people writing it know what they're doing. And we're all hidden on the back end. So the reseller is the front person with the client. Everything goes through them. It's just a way to generate that revenue. Another way is through employer training programs such as supervisor reasonable suspicion training, designated employer representative training. And not many people want to spend the time and resources, or again, have the expertise to build out a whole on-demand portal, because there's a lot that goes into that. So we actually provide white label training programs for our resellers as well to provide to their customers. And they can actually purchase credits through our system and then charge the customer whatever they want to charge the customer for the trainings, and then assign those trainings to the customer, be able to track it all on the back end of who's doing it, where they are in the process, and they don't have to do the content. We update the content, we update the portal, we keep everything secure. It's just something they can sell just by having a conversation, and they're going to make money doing that. So it's a great opportunity to generate additional cash flow for your current customers, or even as a way to get in, maybe adding drug testing to another customer because you provide something that maybe they're looking for.
So awesome, Tom. Great information so far. And just before we wrap up, is there anything you wanted to add about the Clinic Mobile Reseller Program?
Yeah, I think the best thing that I can add for that is if you are a collector out there and you're just getting started in the business, or you're thinking about adding drug testing to your clinic location, reach out and have a conversation. That's the best way to figure out if it's the right fit for you. Our philosophy here at National Drug Screening is to make sure that what services we're providing is going to help you get where you want to go, help you accomplish the goals you're trying to accomplish. And that's really going to be the best way to do that. And if you have the right information, then you can make a decision on how you want to move forward. You can see if it's going to be the right fit for you. And I find that almost everyone that I talk to, or our team talks to for this program, wants to move forward with it. And that's not because we're so great at doing it. It's just we're knowledgeable about what it is. We actually have an interest in helping them get where they want to go. And I think that they see that, and they like the idea that they can have one person they can come to, or one company they can come to, get what they need, and then move on with growing their business. So I think that's really the big aspects of that, is reach out, have the conversation, and then you'll know exactly if it's going to be the right fit for you.
Excellent, excellent. And for anybody interested, on the screen you can see the phone number to call, you can see an email to send an email. We'll get back to you. We have multiple members of our team besides Tom and I that can assist. We will get you pricing. It's going to be fair, affordable pricing. Right. You can mark it up to make money, obviously. That's why we're here, to help you make money. If you have questions, we'll answer it. We'll walk you through this. We'll help you. We also do, which we didn't mention, the What's the Call webinar monthly.
Right, and that's a great, I'm glad we mentioned that before we wrapped it up. One of the things that we started a while back is for our people new into drug testing, which would be typically our clinic mobile resellers and collectors out there. But we do a What's the Call Wednesday. It's typically the first Wednesday of every month. Sometimes we'll have guest presenters come in, but we answer your questions. And whatever questions it is, whether it's industry questions, collection questions, lab testing questions, anything, the marketing, sales, whatever you want to talk about, that is the webinar for our clients that are in that program. And we have anywhere from 30 to 100 people on that webinar, each month asking questions. And really, it's exactly what it sounds like it is. It's the only place you'll go that you can go to a webinar, and whatever question you ask, as long as it's in our realm of expertise there, you'll be able to get the answer for that or get a follow-up on that.
Yeah, that's a great webinar, monthly webinar. What's the call? We also have guests on there sometimes, industry professionals. We've had guests that I taught this business to 12 years ago come on. So it's a great thing. So excellent information. Tom Fulmer, our Vice President of Business Development here at National Drug Screening. I'm Joe Reilly, President of National Drug Screening. Always visit our website for tons of information. We've got hundreds and hundreds of pages. We got a search bar on there. Visit nationaldrugscreening.com. Real simple, nationaldrugscreening.com. Thanks for joining us on this video, and watch for many other videos that we have on our YouTube channel.